everyone, I am Yamini, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, SNS College of Technology. Today we are going to discuss about hashing. Hashing in data structures, hash table, hash function and collision in data structures. These informations are explained in my mentee students.
So as ma'am said, in this discussion we will be discussing about the hashing. So hashing is a technique which is majorly helpful for storing and retrieving data. Apart from this technique is used to access the data quickly, access the stored data quickly. So the major formula in hashing is that h of x is equal to x modulus 10. So let us look into the example of hashing. So here let us consider the list which consists of the elements 11, 12, 13, 14. So we all know that the formula is h of x is equal to x modulo 10. So here the x value will be the element, that is the element value. So on performing this formula will be, for example, for if 11 modulo 10, so then the remainder would be 10. Sorry, remainder would be 1. So we will be entering the 11 in the first index position. So this will be repeated again. So the major two terms what we do look into hashing is that hash table and hash function. So this will be further explained.
Now the hash table in data structure is an array of some fixed data size contained with key values. The key is a required piece of data can be searched in hash table. Hash of k equal to k modulo m. K represents the remainder, m represents the table size.
Good morning everyone. Hash function in data structure is a key to address transformation which act upon a given key to compute the relative position of the key in an array. It is represented by h of k is equal to key value followed on table service. So next we will be discussing about the collision technique. So collision is the process that if h of a function consists of more than two values in a table, that is in a particular question, then it is said to be collision. So for example, in the previous page we have discussed about the hash table and hash function with an example. So this collision can be resolved by using three techniques. The first is the separate chaining, and the next is the open addressing, and the last is the rehashing. So this open addressing can also be called as closed hashing. So in this open addressing there are three subdivisions, which is linear dropping, quadratic dropping and the double hashing. So the further separate chaining and open addressing will be explained by Kanan.
Open addressing. Open addressing in hashing is a method for handling collisions by storing all elements in a directly in a hash table itself without using linked list. When a collision occurs, key has to a same slot. This technique searches for an alternative empty slot within a table based on a probing sequence until an empty slot is found for insertion or the key is found during search. It is also known as closed hashing. In open addressing, the hash table must be sized so that it can accommodate all the keys typically with a loaded factor. To maintain efficiency, the main probing techniques used for open addressing. There are three open addressing types: linear probing, quadratic probing, double hashing. Linear probing, incrementally checking the next slot. Quadratic probing, checking slot based on the quadratic function. Double hashing, using a secondary hash function for the prob step.
I am going to explain about the separate chaining. Separate chaining is one of the most commonly used collision resolution technique in hashing. When two or more keys generate the same hash value, a collision occurs. To handle the situation, separate chaining uses a linked list or chain at each index of the hash table. In this method, each slot or bucket of the hash table contains a pointer to a linked list that holds all the elements that has to the same index. When a new key is inserted, the hash function is applied to find the index, and the key is then added to the linked list presented at that index. If multiple keys have the same hash index, they are sorted as nodes in the linked list of the index. During search or deletion, the hash function adds to the right linked list. Thank you.
So finally, we have an overview of the following terms and the two terms in hashing, hash table, hash function. So on the main formula, which is nothing but x is equal to x modulo 10. After that, we have discussed about the collision and the collision technique, how to resolve these collisions. So the main resolving collision techniques are open addressing, separate chain, etc. etc. So here we had an overview of how to overcome the hashing collision techniques. Thank you.
My mentee students are explaining hashing, hash function, hash table and hashing resolution technique. My mentee students is explained well. Good. Thank you.